What's up, guys? Welcome back to Almost Functional 40K. Here with another video, still going through all the data sheets for Space Wolves. Now I'm going to be jumping into the Dreadnought option for Space Wolves. I think we have, excuse me, I think we have the best options for Dreadnoughts of any Marines, personally, in my opinion. So I'm really excited about this video. So with that, we're going to go ahead and just jump straight in. Please, if you can, go ahead and like, subscribe, share. Just help get this content out to everybody we can. All right, let's see here. All right, so we're going to start with the ones in the Marine book. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Invictor in with Dreadnoughts just because he's almost a Dreadnought. So decent stats, T8, 12 wounds, 3 up save, 4 OC. He gets the Iridium Cannon, which ignores cover. Nice little flamer there. You give the Iron Hail, Auto Cannon. And then he's got the special rule, Vanguard Support. Once per turn in your opponent's shooting phase, when a friendly adept is to start his Phobos infantry unit within 6 of this model selected as a target attack, one model from your army with this ability can use it. If it does, after that unit has finished making its attacks, that model can shoot as if it were a shooting phase, but then resolving the attacks can only target that enemy unit. I don't find this as that strong ability because I find most of the time the only Phobos you're really taking is infiltrators, and you're either giving them a Libby or hiding them so they can't be shot. So I don't see this getting used very often, although he does have the Phobos ability himself, so I guess technically he is within 6 inches of himself, so if you shot at him, he could use it. Combat-wise, he's got 5 attacks, strength 14, negative 3 damage. That's very solid. It's a very nice little option. He has a scout. He doesn't have the infiltrate like he used to, but he has a scout 8-inch, which isn't horrible. I haven't seen many people run these, but I don't think it's that bad an option. Let me pull up his points and see what we're looking at there, because that could be something that really is why people aren't running them. Should have had these points pulled up before, but all right, let's see. Invictus. Or Invictor, all right, 140 points. And actually, I don't think that's that bad. And honestly, I always thought they were kind of a cool looking model. So I think there could be some spots for Invictors in a Space Wolf list. We got the Brutalis Dreadnought, a close combat Dreadnought. That sounds pretty Space Wolfy to me. His shooting, got a heavy bolter, got a twin multi-melta. You can give him some shooting options, but that's not really why you're bringing him for the most part. I take the Brutalis Fists, which are twin links, strength 6, 6 attacks, strength 12, negative 3 damage. Or you can take the Talons, which are also twin linked. And it just gives you a sweep because the strike is exactly the same as the fists. So I guess maybe those fists and so you got to give up the bolt rifles to get the Talons. That's what it is. All right. So to gain the sweep, you give up the bolt rifles. I don't think that's big an issue. I think you probably do that most of the time. I think you just take the claws so you have the sweep option. Or the Talons. Then his special rule is each time this model ends a charge move, select one enemy with engagement range. On a D6, 2 to 3, they suffer D3 mortals, 4 to 5, 3, 6, D3 plus 3. I believe this is the same as Canis's rule. So this is really nice. Anytime you can add extra mortals into stuff is really solid. The Brutalis is really nice. I want to get one and play around with it. And he's 160 points. So it's only slightly more than the Invictor. So for points-wise, I think he's definitely much better. Then we have your old school, just standard Dreadnought. This is the one that's been around forever. So they're 135 points. It's only 5 points cheaper than the Invictus. They're T9, only 8 wounds. They have pretty much the same weapon options they have forever. You give them fist. You can give them las cannon. You can give them las cannon missile launcher. You can double weapon them. The nice thing about them is they give reroll hits of 1 to infantry units near them. So that's a solid little bonus. But with Oath in most Marine armies, you don't really need it against your main target. So I don't think that ability is that strong right now. If it was rerolled a wound, since we've lost that ability out of Oath, this would actually be really strong. So yeah, not a big fan of the regular Dreadnought now. Just I find the Primaris versions are so much better. All right, then we got the Redemptor. This is honestly something I've run 3 of quite a few times. Not in the last few months, but I had fairly success with a 3 Redemptor list with Bjorn in it. But the Redemptor, T10, 12 wounds, -1 damage. Just very, very solid and durable. I love the plasma. When I was running 3, I'd run 1 also with the onslaught, just for the possibility of the devastating. But their shooting hits very hard. Combat, 5 attack, strength 12, negative 3 damage. That's very similar to what we see from a lot of the Dreadnoughts combat. But in Wolves, having something that shoots and punches well is pretty dang good. Punches almost as good as the Brutalis. Uh, Shoots almost as good as Ballistas. Like, I think the Redemptor, it's 210 points now, I believe, which is the downside of it. But I find Redemptors are really, really good. And you'll probably see 1 or 2 in my Champion Rust builds when I start playing around with them after ATC. Ballistas Dreadnought, for their points, they are pretty dang good. They're only 140 points. And if you just need something to sit back, kind of hold a backfield objective, and give you some long range downfield shots, you really can't do much better than this. Each time he makes an attack against a target that is not below half strength, you can reroll the hit roll. So he's got a built-in reroll, so you could shoot him at something separate from what you're shooting, what your oath target is. Have him try to pick off something else. I find they're real good for popping some transports and stuff before the rest of your army tries to get into it. Um, for 140 points, ballistices are really, really good, I find. And that's all the options out of the Marine book. The Redemptor and the Ballistas, I think, are the 2 best out of the Marine book. But I don't hate the Invictor. Uh, the what else was the Brutalis looks interesting. The old school Dreadnought, I'm not super sold on, but I think all the others, depending on what detachment and stuff you're running and what else is in your list, they can find places to be very, very useful. All right, so next up, we're going to jump into the ones from the Rainbook. We're going to start with the Space Wolves Venerable Dreadnought. This is on the old school Little Dreadnought chassis. He can take the Hellfrost, the Multi-Melta, Plasma Cannon. You can give the Great Axe and Shield, which I think is really cool. So with the Great Axe, it's Strength 10, negative 2d6 plus 1, or Sweep, Strength 6, negative 1 damage. So still not as strong as the Primaris ones, but you get the 4-up invul save on him at T9, 8 wounds. That's pretty solid. With only a 6-inch move, and you can take him shooty, but I find the combat ways better. He's just a little slower than the Primaris ones without the shooting, and if you take the shooting, I just think it's better to take the Primaris ones. So I'm not a huge fan of the Space Wolf Svendred. All right, let's find it here. I was looking for Vendred. It's under Space Wolf. Yeah, 155 points. That you could take a Ballistas for that. You could take the Brutalis, the Invictor. I just find there's a lot of stuff that's better than one of the most beautiful, coolest looking models. If you've got all the actual wolf bits and everything on it and fixed up, but I just don't think rules wise they're really where it's at right now. All right, and for some reason he's separated from all the other Dreadnought options in the book. So let me scroll up to them. All right, here we go. So the other options are, we got the Wolfen Dreadnought. He moves 8, so he moves slightly more than the Vendread. You can still give him the Great Axe of Blizzard Shield. He gets Bestial Rage. Each time this model is selected to fight, you can select one enemy unit within engagement range of it. Roll 1d6, adding 2 to the result if this model made a charge move this turn. On a 4 to 5, they take D3 mortals. On a 6+, they take D3 plus 3. Once again, anytime you can add extra mortals, that's pretty solid. So if you're going to take the Shield Axe Dreadnought, I would take the Wolfen Dreadnought instead of the Venerable. But that's just my personal opinion, and it's 130 points, so it's 25 points cheaper, and it moves faster, and you get bonuses on the charge. And he gets the Feel No Pain 6+. So I like the Wolfen Dreadnought. And then Murderfang. Murderfang is just a beast now, especially since they clarify that it is intended that he can fight infinite times if you can keep triggering him. 8 attacks, strength 14, -2, 3 damage, twin link. That's just brutal. His shooting, yeah, Flamer's okay. Nothing, you don't take him for shooting. It's nice to have, but... and then each time an enemy unit targets this model, after the unit has finished making its attacks, this model can either shoot as your shooting phase or fight as it for your fight phase. And if you get him in the right position and can keep piling in to new units, and then they have to attack you, they can't choose not to. If you get him in the right spot, this could just go on forever. It is pretty silly, actually, and I am waiting to see somebody pull it off because it'll be hilarious. Oh, I can't. Oh, he's in. See a character. No, I can't find him. Murder Fang. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Murder Fang. He's 170 points, though. So it's a pretty pricey for T9, 8 wounds. He does have a 2-up save, but he doesn't have an invul. So he does get the Feel No Pain, though. So if you get him in a position, he's great, but he can be taken out. He's not that hard to kill. So you have to be real careful with how you position him. But if you get him in, he is brutal. And then the last one, and probably the best Dreadnought in the game right now, I think, and one of, if not the best, datasheet in Space Wolves currently, is Bjorn the Fell-Handed. He can take Hellfrost Cannon, people like Las Cannon, Multi-Melta, decent weapon options. True Claw, lethal hits, so it's 6s to hit, auto wound, 6 attacks, strength 12, -3 damage. So he hits the same as the Primaris Dreads. He's T9, 8 wounds, has a 5-up Feel No Pain, but what makes him survivable is he gets to half the damage characteristics on attacks that hit him. And then he also has the Ancient Tactician, which is now the Lord of the Seed ability. So anybody within 12 of him, any enemy unit within 12 of him, if a strat's used on him, auto pay an extra one. So if you have him surrounded by some other Dreads or Thunderwolf or something, just him in the middle of your push, it just really limits what your opponent can do. And it's something they really have to think about and play around, because once you move him in position, they can go from them potentially doing 3 strats to only being able to do 1. That ability is so strong right now, on top of the fact that I always liked Bjorn because he was so hard to kill and he hit so hard. I think this is an amazing data sheet, and he's only 180 points. Like, that is ridiculous. I would take him, once I start playing with Champions of Rust, I think he's going to make it into, off the top of my head, I say he'll probably make it into every build. We'll see if I ever play around with a build without him, but I think you almost start your builds with him. I'm not taking him to ATC just because before the change, I had really been testing how I was playing. Just throwing him in, I have to drop 180 points and change the list so much. but I was really considering it, and I really wanted to. But I'd say Bjorn is one of the best data sheets in the game now. And if you're a Space Wolf player, I would definitely look into playing around with some Iron Priest, Dreadnought heavy builds. I'm thinking about doing that, taking a couple of Redemptors, Ballistas, Bjorn, Murderfang, Wolfhunter, like just go most. I mean, take a couple little things like scouts and infiltrators to score you some points, but just going crazy with the dreadnoughts and throwing it out there, but like deal with it. I think Wolves can probably do that better than anybody right now, just because we have so many dreadnought options, and some of our options are just so much better than what a lot of other people have access to. But that's it for now. I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.